Hi guys, Info. Right now I'm making a video of a review of the Crawling Action Fighters. Now I do have a video on here about these already, but it was bad. It was my first review on this channel. So I'm gonna do a newer one. So now these are really cool. These are my #1 childhood toys. You might think, oh, that's so girly-ish or kiddish. Well, there's a reason why I like them, okay? So this is what the box looks like. I got a couple of them in the box over there too. Try me button slot. Crawling Action Fighters look really cool. Now, I've had over 60 of these in my whole life. Okay, so I've had every kind made, and there's a good over a good 20 different kinds, different military guys and all that. I'll talk more about that if you want to see what they all look like, because I don't have that many anymore. I barely have. Have hardly any. These things break like crazy, and I'll tell you that in this review as well later on. Um, but if you want to see what they look like, just go to my Jobian Videos channel, because I have videos of all of them on what kinds were made and stuff. So, Crying Action Fighters. Well, here's the thing. These aren't original. These are the reproduction. Crawling Action Heroes was the original. Okay, you might think there's no difference. There sort of is. Okay, now the first ones didn't have try me buttons. There's more than just that. They talked a lot slower, they were louder, and they lasted longer. Okay, back then you'd get them, they might last you a week or two, and then they'd break, or maybe a year, depending. The first ones actually didn't break too much. I just used them every single day, day after day, for nonstop. Pretty much morning to bedtime, literally, is what I did with them. So there's a reason why they all broke, okay? But no, when you get the reproduction version, they last you about a good 5-10 minutes before they break, okay? So their wires aren't as good. And their chip is a little bit sped up. They talk faster. And the old ones, the lights in the gun is actually signalized with the voice, so it flashes as it talks with the voice. These ones just blink. It's not signalized, really, only when it does the gun shooting. Now, there's two different soundtracks for them. There's the annoying soundtrack, which I'll show you that, and then the cool soundtrack. So the first ones had no try me buttons. Okay, and then these are the original as well, Crying Action Heroes. They did have try me buttons, but they're still the original, okay? So, and they were sold at KB Toys and Big Lots, about 10 or 20 bucks each. It depended, I guess. Some of them came in sets of 2, like this one came with a firefighter. There's one that comes with on eBay right now that comes with a SWAT team that has a bazooka or whatever. But I'll take this out here and show you what it does. It's when you get it, it's twist tied by its arms and the body into the box, and it's not really hard to remove. Real talking voice. Battery operated, motorized crawling action. The switches on the pants. Don't get fooled if people on eBay. These things are really hard to find. You cannot find these easy. There is not too many. These are you cannot find the ones that have no buttons. These are pretty much extinct completely. You can find those sometimes, but not really. You can pretty much only find the reproduction. And as soon as they're gone, since they're still being listed today, as soon as they're gone, they're gone. They're not going to be around anymore. These things are not easy to come across. I've found 2 at rummage sales. This one and the Series 2 bazooka one, which I call the original bazooka. Okay, reproduction ones. The batteries do not go in the backpack, okay? It's the circuit board in there. And the circuit board only controls the talking. It doesn't control the crawling or the... It controls the light, too. It doesn't control the crawling, though. It only controls the talking and the light and the try me buttons. But if you were to have no wires connected, it would still crawl. Just no light or sound. Okay, the reproduction ones are different. Okay, here's the original Crawling Action Heroes. It used to have a backpack, and it used to talk. This is the one that talks slower. This is the one that's sped up. Okay, the originals had this, okay, for their battery covers. The batteries go in the pans, 2 AA's. And they were picky. The old ones only worked with certain brands because the contacts on some of them were too tight, but you were able to fix that by putting a flathead screwdriver and just stretching out the prawn in there. Because they would not work with rechargeable batteries. But after I stretched them out, they work now. You just need something strong to get them out, or else you're going to break your fingernail because they're in there pretty tight. But yeah, the first ones had this to lock it, and then the reproduction has screws. Now, the first ones made had a different belt as well. This is actually a reproduction, but this is the annoying soundtrack, so it's a little different. This is reproduction because the uniform feels like a different type of fabric, and it's sewed together. They used to have Velcros instead. Okay, this is the original belt. Okay, it's rubber. And here's the newer one. It's plastic. Okay. So when these things break, you gotta cut off the belt. And it sort of takes away the cool look to them. It's not too noticeable, but also their parts can actually be removable. So you can actually customize them. For example, I have an orange firefighter. There's firefighters and army men. There's black firefighters. There's one with the all black helmet, and there's one with the red squares on the helmet, and then there's an orange firefighter. There's 2 of them, one with the annoying sound and one with the original cool sound. I actually don't know which is original, the annoying or the cool one, but see, I know a lot about these things because I've had over 60 of them, and I've had them since I was 6 years old. So okay, so I know a lot about them. I think it was 6 anyways, 6 or 7 for sure. These came out in like 2002, I believe. Not the original ones that stopped to shoot their gun. That was from the 80s or whatever. But these are the 2000 talking ones, okay? And, okay, as I was saying, you can customize them because before, my orange firefighter, I put camouflage pants on it. Well, of course I had to rewire it. But then, there's something cooler I had before. There's the SWAT team right there, okay? I had a SWAT team, and I put firefighter parts on it, okay? I left the head as a SWAT team. I left the vest and the clothing. But what I did to change is I put a flashlight in its hand instead of a gun and the thing that it has. And I put a flashlight in it. It didn't light up because I didn't have the wires connected. It didn't work too long. It broke down. But I have videos of it on my channel if you want to see it. The circuit boards were sort of hanging out. Instead of having one backpack, it had both. A backpack and an oxygen tank. Okay? And then it had, over the SWAT team vest, I had the firefighter vest. So these things can be customized. So I could take his head off and put a firefighter head on. So, I mean, yeah. Which, sometimes I have them crawling around headless. Okay? Or legless, because you can take off their legs. I mean, just unscrew them. It's not too hard. So, and that freaks my mom out. Anyways, I gotta show them on, turn them on and demonstrate it to you. Here we go. The switch is right here. See as it blinks. Okay? They go continuously. Oh. Alright. And I fix these things. When their motors die, I can replace them, and when the wires break, I can resolder them. Only reason I lost the others is because back then I didn't know how to fix them, and they were just so old, and they were shoved in a bucket, and then they got worse, and then if I had them in one piece today, all 60 of them, no doubt about it, I could get every one of them crawling, because they don't have to have the circuit board. Some of them could just crawl, but some of them could yell too. So, it definitely could get them working if I had them all today. That would be a lot of them, but I'd have the full collection. I had all the originals, and a lot of the second ones with the buttons, and then a lot of the... I just got the third ones with the reproduction ones when I turned 13. 2009. Yeah, 2009 is when I first got the reproduction ones. Crawling Action Fighters. Crying Action Heroes boxes were a little different. They actually, on the bottom, they had pictures showing the other kinds that you can get. Okay, so, you know for sure then those are the real ones. These ones don't show that, okay? And originally, this is the first original. This is series 2. There's 2 series of these. Well, these aren't really a series at all. They're just reproduction. So they did a reproduction of Jungle Man, which is what I call this one. Him, that's the first one of him I've had. And then they have the Camouflage as a reproduction. Those ones were actually at J.C. Penney's. They were in a cardboard box, and some of them are in that box. See right there, there's one in that box. SWAT Team was a reproduction. The Black Navy SEAL, I think maybe that white one. And I can't really show you all of them made because I don't have them all here. But if you check out my YouTube channel, I have every one of them all crawling around too. Well, not all at once, all versions at once, because I didn't have them all at the same time working. I had them all, but not all working at the same time. So in separate videos, you'll see some different ones and stuff. So, but I can quickly try and describe them here. Compare you the original soundtrack compared to the sped up one. Also show you the annoying ones too. Okay. I got too many of the annoying ones after a while. All the cool ones died. Okay. Now you can see how that gets annoying after a while. You can't even understand what it's saying at all. And it's not synchronized, it just flashes. Well, same as him, but they're originally supposed to be in sync with the voice. I'll try and show you the original. I know this is a long review for something basic, but I have a lot of experience with these, so this story could be a lot longer. So, problems that occurred with these is either a wire would come off, a motor would die, or a gear would break. It was uncommon for a gear to break, though. That didn't happen too often. It was usually a wire. If anything, yeah. Now the battery's stuck in there. Okay, I have a screwdriver too. So, and those ones are sound activated. Those aren't the same company. These I think are like Goldilocks or something like that. It's a weird company name, but those ones don't even work at all. Those were brand new in the box. Actually, one was returned, I think. And they don't crawl. They're supposed to. They're sound activated. They'll crawl and then they'll stop to shoot their guns. Their heads will turn. Their arms will move. And they're really cool, but they never worked once. So that was disappointing. But those are crawling combat heroes or fighters or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I've got lots of videos of these guys just crawling around in herds and stuff. So like a army apocalypse, and trust me, it's sort of interesting, I guess. And not a lot of people know about these though because they're not made. These are forgotten toys. I don't even know if they actually were ever known, really, because it seems like no one really has them. I mean, me having 60, I'm sure I've had a lot of them, but there just wasn't that much. And I can't do this one. This one's so old that it barely talks and crawls. It needs a new motor. See, the old ones, the speed of the motor controlled the voice. So if it was running dead, it would just sit here doing this. See? Now the reproduction ones don't do that. They're actually in the battery cover. So when they get low, they actually get possessed sounding and get quieter, okay? But remember, the old ones were a lot louder. See how it's synchronized with the voice now. Now I can't put this down because it doesn't have the battery cover. And yeah. And they'll just pop right out. I'm trying to find a better battery. That was an indication of low batteries when they did that. These were battery hogs. Some would last 10 minutes and they were dead. Now the reproduction ones can last hours since their voice don't cut off. I mean, the batteries were usually half dead and they would stop talking. It got so annoying to listen to them just repeat the same thing over and over. Some of them have high tracks in them, some of them have low, some have medium. I can't show you any of the firefighters right now because I don't have them in here and they're all sort of broken. So if you want to see those, just go to Jobian Videos, as I said 100 times already. Okay, I'll show you this one. This one's a normal speeded one. Well, it's high, but it's not the reproduction. It's the original. See, it talked a little bit slower than these ones. These ones are sped up, especially towards the end of the sayings. Sorry, I cut off. But yeah, see, that one was normal sped, but the reproductions are sped up. So that was almost everything. I don't think there's too much more to talk about them because also the older ones did not have this tab for the try me button. They sort of, the reproduction ones might have their pants switched around because this is the original. This was also one that had no try me buttons, and see, their pants are a little bit different. Of course, the older ones still had that kind of pants, but they sort of switched them on the identical looking ones. They're a little different. They're not identical, but they're still supposed to be the same. But see, like these ones right here are velcroed, but the original, and this one here is sewed on. Okay, so yeah. But that was that's about everything. Like I said, if you want to see more of these guys, just go to Jobian Videos because there's you just have to type in crawling action. That's it, and then you'll get a whole list of them. Don't put crawling action fighter because then you'll only find some. If you put crawling action, you'll find some, and then you can put crawling army men or crawling out firefighters, and you'll find some more. So yeah, that's about it. So they've went through different changes. The originals with no buttons, and then they changed the buttons, and then then they got the annoying sounds in them, also with no buttons, and then with buttons, and then reproduction. So there is about 3 of each, 3 generations of each one. So I'm sort of, I don't know what to say anymore because I think I went over mostly everything. So, but if there's more questions, just comment and I'll reply because I know a lot about these things. So, just ask whatever you feel like. And I think that's everything. See you later. One other thing I forgot to mention that I should mention is that the soundtracks both soundtracks can exist in the same army character. Like for the SWAT team, there are some with the annoying sound and some with the cool sound. Okay, so but it was only in the first series. Like all of them from the second series had the cool soundtrack. But the first series, which is SWAT team, that white one, Navy SEAL, the orange firefighter, the camouflage one, I don't think that one. They had the annoying sounds or the cool sounds, so it was a 50-50 chance of what it was going to be. I don't know if those existed when they first came out, those ones, but some of them are Series 1, some are Series 2, I don't know. It's hard to tell. There was a Series 2 of the white one, but it had brown boots. This is from a boot from the Series 2, and it had a furry hood around it. So, yeah. And Series 2 also, this is a Series 2, so Series 2 had no buttons at first as well, too. And then both series ended up getting buttons, and then they did the reproductions, and the series got combined together. Like, those are all the reproductions, and there's Series 2 and 1, but they don't really count them as a series anymore. I don't know if they're still made today. I don't know if those... Because I just got those on Amazon a while ago, so I don't know if they're still being made or what. But they're probably discontinued now for sure, but they're coming to an end. But I just had to point out that if you get ones from Series 1, it's a 50-50 chance. Nowadays, it's most likely going to be the annoying one, but back then, it was probably going to be the cool one because it was more common, but now it's usually the annoying ones because for my 13th birthday, I've got 5 of them, and 3 out of the 5 were the annoying ones. And they were all Series 1, and they were the reproduction crawling action fighters, which was this one, but I changed it. Since my original Series 2 white one died on me, I put the circuit board in here, resoldered it in, took the annoying chip out. So yeah, so I don't like having too many of the annoying ones because it's just too many. It was too annoying. I wanted more of the cool ones with the gun shooting and all that. So I got this one, and the other white one, which is in the corner behind Ars Media, and this SWAT team, and then this one, but this one has the cool one, but these two have the annoying sound. I've had 5 of the annoying sound. No, I think I've had 6 now. 3. Yeah, I've had 6 of the camouflage ones with the annoying sound. This is the 7th, and this is the only one with the cool sound, but it's also the reproduction, so it's sped up. So yeah, but these are the newest ones. I just got them. So yeah, I just had to point that out. So these ones actually have the cool sounds, but then they have an added sound effect to it. It says fire, fire, and so the first half it says that. It says what these ones say, so it was cool that they said that, but they're really quiet and they just don't work. That's probably why they got put to clearance. And we were going to call and have them send new ones for free, but I would have to send these back, and I already took this one apart, and I don't want to go through it, because the new ones are going to be broken. If neither of these two work, I don't think the new ones are going to work either. If they do, they'll work 5 times, and they'll die. So that's it. I just had to repoint that out in case you find one. Just be careful on what it is. If you don't like the annoying one, then don't get it if it's the Series 1. Series 1, I already told you which ones are in Series 1, so yeah, that's it.